Hello and welcome back to another episode on my channel. My name is Celeste and I am your host and certified life coach. So today's topic might seem a little bit strange coming from a life coach because a lot of what we do involves accountability. So you may be wondering, why on earth would a life coach now be telling me not to tell people about my goals? It can feel really motivating to tell someone about the goal that you have planned, whether it's wanting to run a marathon, start a new business, write a book, whatever it is. It feels good to tell someone, right? But what if I told you there's research that suggests otherwise? Today, we're going to take a look at why keeping your goals under wraps may actually help you to achieve them. But before we go any further with today's video, if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a new video. A 2009 study found that if you announce your intention to achieve a goal, you are actually less likely to follow through and achieve it. When you announce your intention to someone else and they acknowledge it, your brain tricks itself into thinking that you have already achieved or accomplished something. So this feeling that you've now achieved something is pretty great, right? But the problem is your brain has now essentially found a shortcut to getting the same feeling that you would get if you'd actually accomplished the goal. And this becomes a problem because why would your brain then want you to put in the work if it's found a way to get the same feeling? You're very unlikely to actually follow through and take the steps in order to achieve the goal if you've already got the feeling of satisfaction as if you had accomplished it. So essentially, now that you've reached that feeling of happiness, your brain is going to remove the drive or need for you to actually achieve the goal. So to summarize the 2009 study that I mentioned earlier, a group of participants were all asked to write down their goal on a piece of paper. Half the participants were then asked to keep their goal a secret, and the other half were asked to announce it to the rest of the group. The results of the study found that those who kept their goal secret were significantly more likely to achieve their goal than those who had publicly announced theirs. So why does this happen? Essentially, it boils down to our need as people to receive recognition. When we receive praise for merely stating our goal out loud, we experience a premature sense of accomplishment towards that goal. This is why I think it becomes even more important, especially if you haven't started taking actionable steps towards achieving your goal, that you just keep it to yourself for the meantime. Receiving this premature praise could sabotage your chance of actually ever taking that first step. That feel-good moment we get when we're praised for stating our goals out loud diminishes our drive and motivation to actually put in the work to achieve our goals. But this doesn't mean that you should never talk about your goals. This simply means you don't need to broadcast it to the entire world or everyone in your life. You need to be selective. There is a huge difference between telling people and receiving that momentary praise versus people who are actually going to hold you accountable. Accountability is something completely different. You should be sharing your goal with a small, trusted group of individuals who will hold you accountable. These could be individuals from your family, your friends group, perhaps even a mentor or a life coach. It definitely feels good when you've got people praising you for stating your goals out loud, but the reality is this is a momentary praise, and it's not actually helping you achieve your goal. It's far more productive towards your goal to have a small group of people holding you accountable, or even just a single accountability buddy. Having a small accountability network offers the opportunity for you to receive personalized support. Oftentimes when we put our goals out en masse, we are going to receive very generic feedback and encouragement from people. The sort of standard, yay, I believe in you, you can do it. But people who know you are going to be able to give you really, really good personalized, tailored advice and encouragement. People close to us who are holding us accountable are also more likely to give us constructive feedback and criticism. When we broadcast our goals or progress to people who may not necessarily be invested in whether we succeed or not, we may receive praise where it's not due. Whereas if we're speaking to someone who actually wants what's best for us and wants to see us achieve, they're more likely to give us constructive criticism that will help us grow and reach our goal. It's also important to acknowledge that constructive feedback is more important than mass feedback. If we're putting our goals and progress out to the world for commentary, we're probably going to receive one of two areas of responses. That would be either people who are overly positive and overly praising what we're doing, or people that are just being overly negative towards what we're trying to do. But if you're sharing your goals and progress with a group of trusted individuals who have your best interests at heart, they are more likely to give the constructive criticism and feedback that you need in order to progress. It can feel really good when you put yourself out there and you receive that mass praise. But the reality is, unless you're getting the constructive criticism as well, you're never going to be able to move forward. You're going to accept where you are, and your brain is once again going to trick you into thinking you've reached the pinnacle you've achieved, when in reality, a little bit of constructive feedback and criticism could help you improve greatly with what you're trying to do. Another benefit of choosing a small group of people to be accountable to is reducing the pressure and stress that comes with publicly announcing your goals. I think we sometimes convince ourselves that the more people who know, the greater accountability we're creating for ourselves. But another way of looking at this is that instead of creating accountability, we're creating fear for ourselves. This is completely switching the motivation for our goal. We're now not trying to reach the goal because we want to reach the goal. We're trying to reach the goal so that we don't have to go through the stress and anxiety of a public failure. There is always something that's motivating us and driving us to achieve a goal. And it's really important that this comes from within us. If your motivation to achieve a goal is coming from external factors, you're almost giving away your power to achieve your goal. You have no control over the external factors around you. Your goals and motivations need to come from within you. You are the only person you have any control over in this life, and you need to do things that align with your values and that make you happy. So how do you effectively choose the individuals who you want to be part of your accountability group? Identify the individuals in your life who have your best interests at heart and who will be honest with you, even if that involves providing criticism at times. Ensure that these are people who have a clear understanding of your goal as well as your motivations. Once you've identified these people, you need to set clear expectations with them. You need to set expectations in terms of how you're going to check in and what sort of feedback you would like from them. Explain to them that yes, you do need praise, but you also need them to provide honest, constructive criticism as well. And finally, ensure that these are individuals who you can trust. You need them to provide you with a safe space where you can be honest about your fears, struggles, and emotions during this journey. There are absolutely cases where people have publicly declared a goal and have gone on to achieve it, but this doesn't work for everyone. If you're one of those people who has publicly declared your goals and it works for you, that's great. You found something that works for you. But if you have publicly declared your goals and then don't go on to achieve them, perhaps this is now the time to assess and try a different approach. There is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to achieving our goals in life. This means that we will have failures on the path to our goals. But the important thing to keep in mind is what we do when that happens. We need to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and try something else. If publicly declaring your goals is not getting you the results you need and want, it's time to try something different. Your goals are personal and require nurturing and focus, which can be easily disrupted by receiving premature praise or public scrutiny. The next time you're setting a goal for yourself, consider keeping it on the down low and only involving a select group of individuals who are going to help keep you accountable. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found this useful, please give it a thumbs up, and also feel free to share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from a fresh look at how they set and approach their goals. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and remember, sometimes silence is golden, and it pays off to work hard in silence and let your success be your noise. See you next week.